Welcome, Leo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon reading in Cancer. The Cancer new moon occurring tomorrow in the early morning on the west coast of the U.S. It's opposing Pluto. It's making favorable aspects to Neptune and Uranus, the other outer planets. But essentially, this is about cleansing the emotions, cleansing the experiences that have to do with the deep healing work that you've been undergoing for the past 18 years, depending on where Capricorn falls in your chart. For those of you particularly with Capricorn rising, you have been through it. You are in it. But this particular phase of deep cleansing, where we take responsibility for the experiences we've had, the actions we deliver, our words, our efforts, and take responsibility for those completely. Understand the nature of power and how we take on power, how we are empowered, or where we have felt powerless. So let's get started with your overall energy, Leo. For the new moon in Cancer, we have the moon. And this is definitely indicating your super attunement, your intuitive sensitivity around the invisible forces, the dream world, the energies of night and other spheres, the reflection of the sun's energy, the sun being your ruler. This has been, for many of you, an opportunity to experience the reflection of that. How our truth is reflected to us in invisible ways, in unconscious ways. How what we don't acknowledge, what we don't become aware of, can control us. So as you allow yourself to bravely open up to this world, as you connect to your dreams, your ancestors, journal, meditate, whatever it is you do, pray. This is all part of the process of unspooling, following the thread of the unconscious, and allowing yourself to be supported by your guides, your ancestors, your angels, whoever it is that connects you, protects you, brings you information, helps to show you the way. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity, we have the King of Swords. And this is about your ability to understand how to ask the questions about the things you thought you knew, the assumptions that you've made about the world, about your relationships. You're now opening those up to see the truth, to find your truth, to test your truth against the experiences of others, to find the relevancy of your experience to others. This is you opening up and asking questions, but truly listening without an agenda, without judgment, or without expectations. So you may be in some way leading an effort to educate members of your team at work, or bringing new information about your family structure or the family tree. Those are two examples. You may be leading an educational effort or a training effort in general. You may be writing a book. You may be considering the life of a public speaker. These are all examples of the way the King of Swords energy could be working for you in a way that allows you to open up and to interrogate your own assumptions, to challenge yourself. In the first house, we have the King of Wands. Whoa, Leo. This is about your determination, your passion, your clarity of moving forward in a direction that you know is going to help you to grow and expand. You may be supported by a leader, a supervisor, a strong partner in your job or in your home to take on more responsibilities, to be the voice of leadership, even if you are not the leader, even if you work in a non-hierarchical environment, you are still taking responsibility for the ideas that you and or a group are pursuing. You may be choosing a path of development and growth that is independent from your work. You may be contemplating this, but you are a leader and you are allowing yourself new opportunities to express that. One of the ways you may be expressing it is through your ability to develop curricula, to develop a training program. The fourth house, the house of your home, your emotions, your feelings. The Seven of Swords is a card where you, as a very social, outspoken, very present in the world energy, are ruminating, considering effort, experiences where you were criticized, where you were found deficient, where others perhaps attempted to sabotage you by laughing at your ideas, not taking you seriously, not believing that your ideas were valuable or that you had value. Those things once stopped you, absolutely, they blocked you. And as you have gained the courage to face those experiences, you've now recognized that you are no longer stopped. You, in fact, are validated by the haters that you may be experiencing. You recognize that the sense of threat others may experience in your expressing yourself, your offering an idea, is really validation that what you're doing, that you're on the right path for you, that you have something of value that is worthy enough for others who cannot see your vision, don't understand your goals, are shirking from in fear, and that it really is their fear that you now see. Those that would presume to criticize you unfairly, deny you the support, discredit you for something you've done, are motivated by fear. But you are not holding back your light. You are not allowing yourself to be blocked. You are considering this information because you realize that what you're hearing from these kinds of people is helping you to select and choose your battles for the future. In the seventh house, the house of your significant others, we have the devil. This is about a toxic pattern that you are activating, perhaps in your significant relationships, and that is all of your significant relationships. Your mother, your lover, your husband, your wife, your boss, even your friendships, where you may have found yourself attached to someone else's expectations, performing to satisfy someone else's need. This is oftentimes describing a codependent situation. So for many of us that are the children of alcoholics or that have an addicted parent or partner, this describes a family dynamic, a very dysfunctional family dynamic. Your struggle and your work has been to set your own standards, not simply to conform to the status quo, but to understand that whatever you commit to, whatever you feel responsible or obligated to, serves you. And it should serve you primarily. If it's a job you hate, if your paycheck is good enough, you're being served if you're understanding that. And that's an extreme example. But understanding that what others expect does not guide your growth, is not intended to guide your growth. Only you know what is best for you, and really stepping into that responsibility is a tremendous growth for you right now. This has everything to do with the Pluto in Capricorn. Again, if you're Capricorn rising or have Capricorn placements, this is really an important opportunity to look at your own behaviors, your own expectations. Are they serving you? In the first house, the King of Wands is clarified by the Five of Swords. In the second house, and the Seven of Swords in the third house repeat here. So this is confirmation, particularly of not only the efforts of others to sabotage you, and this is only because how brightly you shine, Leo. I hope you're clear on that. It is your power. It is your sunshine. It is your shining that is threatening to others. But as a result of the many ways that you may have been put down or criticized through school, through family members, it has hurt you. It's hurt you deeply, and it's affected your sense of self. So that in the past, you did not see yourself as the shining sun. You did not feel deeply anchored in your gifts of leadership, joy, pleasure, happiness, creativity. Instead, you really believed that you didn't have what it took, you didn't have enough, you couldn't do those things that other people can do, you couldn't be successful like them, you just weren't smart enough, you weren't pretty enough, you weren't handsome enough. Whatever it is, you are challenging those ideas and you are releasing them as part of your exploration around what your truth truly is. Your willingness to look in the dark corners of your own consciousness, your willingness to recognize the guides and the supporters that you have in this life or beyond. This can be an ancestor, this can be a historical figure, it can be a relative, it can be someone, a friend, but that guidance is available for you, but you must meditate, you must face your demons. In the fourth house, the Seven of Swords is clarified by the Four of Swords in the fifth house and the Queen of Cups in the sixth house. So you are in an active and conscious healing journey. You are aware that you have gotten where you've gotten by the grace of whatever power you believe in. You are grateful to still be alive, to be thriving, and now you have an opportunity to see how far you've come. Your ability to nurture others, to take responsibility for the growth and development of others, to be vulnerable and allow others to be vulnerable with you is part of your strength and part of your gift as someone who works in relationship with others. And this, again, these others are all others. This is you modeling your best behavior for your children. This is you reassuring your children, your friends, that there's nothing that can't be shared. So this is really you amplifying and extending your powers into all those areas where you now know you've needed support, you've needed caring. And now you can be that caring partner, that caring parent that you may not have had in the past. But you have grown immensely and you are deeply grateful for the progress you've made. You're proud of yourself. The Devil in the seventh house is clarified by the Six of Cups in the eighth house and the Seven of Coins in the ninth house. Not only are you reconnecting with positive associations from your past, this can be old friends, old family members, it can be older experiences of happiness from your childhood. It's wherever you were allowed to exhibit your talents, your gifts without an agenda, where you experience pleasure and joy and creativity without any expectation, whatever your gifts were. You're overall deeply reevaluating your life. You're deeply reevaluating the steps you've taken to get where you are, and you are considering more education. This might be as a result of your quest to develop something, a training, an educational program of your own. You may be simply going online, researching information you need to mount the project that you're engaged in, that you're looking forward to. This can also be you're simply considering that there may be more or a different kind of education or spiritual practice that could help you to maximize your effort so that your efforts, your work is done more intelligently. You're working smarter rather than harder. The King of Swords in the 10th house is clarified by the Temperance in the 11th house and the Tower in the 12th house. My goodness. So this healing process is really being prompted and spurred, kick-started by some unexpected changes that you may have experienced already, or your sense that you don't know, the uncertainty that you're experiencing around what the future holds for you. You are confident that whatever changes come about, whatever disruptions you are experiencing, you trust that that information is leading you on a better path. So, and this really hooks up in my mind with technological changes we're experiencing in our lives, in our world, but it can go much beyond that. Whatever structures are falling apart, whatever structures or organizations are shifting, whatever we've come to expect as the norm is no longer, it's dissipated. So, in that regard, this is actually your strength, Leo. You are able to understand and recognize, be grateful for the surprises, the unpredictability, the old way isn't working anymore-ness about our environment. And you are you're galvanized by these changes. You know just what to do. And this is a beautiful resolution, a beautiful chapter, I should say, in your personal healing and growth, because that is what you've been consciously working on. You've been taking the steps, you've been doing the work, you've been eating well, you have been keeping your house clean, whatever it is you're doing to heal yourself, to pay attention to your needs, to center in those, as you're obviously the Temperance card, she's caring for others. She's doing everything for everybody. So you're doing that as a way of centering in on who you are and what you need, and knowing absolutely that you can give that to yourself. I hope this reading is resonating for you, Leo, and that my battery hasn't worn out quite yet. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you and hope that you will like and subscribe to my channel. And I pulled the Shungite, and the key word is discipline. I practice the art of discipline, and it brings freedom to my soul. I also, before I shuffled and pulled a wild unknown archetype, and I'll explore this more deeply in a short for you, Leo, but I want to read a little bit about the nectar. The nectar is very much about healing, and I'm just going to give you a little information for your meditation. The nectar is the medicine, the elixir, the garden. And it also says, from the nectar, like Krishna, is linked to the mystic who, like Krishna, turns poison into nectar. And it is truth that can often serve as a potent elixir for healing. So we'll explore more of that upcoming. And I thank you for your time, Leo. Until next time, namaste.